The debut show for Avatar The Last Airbender Universes Beyond was this week on Weekly MTG, so let's go over what all was revealed. The crew was all wearing MTG and Avatar merchandise from Box Lunch, and announced that on November 21st there will be a promo associated with buying $50 worth of merch. It's not limited to just Box Lunch's website for sales. They say that there will be an in-store way to get the promo from buying merch or cards. The promo character is also not revealed at this time. The panel then shifts to discuss some of the mechanics of the set and start with lessons. They described that much of the story is about growth and fell into creating the lesson cards to showcase times that the Avatar characters go through changes in growth or receive a lesson from a mentor. This mechanic is separate from the learn mechanic and is more of a subtype on the card with flavor than a full mechanic, but there are other cards that care about the card subtype of lesson. One card that cares about lessons is the Lion Turtle. A 3 mana 3/6 with Vigilance and Reach, gain 3 life when it enters, but it can't attack or block unless there are 3 or more lesson cards in your graveyard. It also taps for mana of any color. I like a lot that they're showing these off side by side with their alt arts. It's rough going through these live streams for the good info and then having to double back later once I get to the special treatment section. Energy Bending looks like an artwork we've already seen. Isn't this the same as the alt art for Force of Negation? So Aang's ultimate achievement here turns into an all lands into all types until end of turn, and you can draw a card. We got a sad boy sighting here for Zuko's Exile. 5 mana instant exile, but it gives your opponent a clue. Sounds not great, but I guess that's colorless and will function in limited. At least the sun is rising here on Zuko. The design team then explains that they love the idea of adding clues into the set, but did not like the idea of reusing the investigate mechanic, as most of these characters aren't necessarily looking for a clue they find or investigating, just semantically incorrect for the set. Yip Yip is a lesson that gives a creature you control +2/+2 until end of turn, and if it's an ally, it gains flying. Solstice Revelations rewards you for having mountains. For 3 mana, exile from the top of your library until you reveal a non-land card. You may cast it for free if its mana cost is less than the number of mountains you control. If not, just put it in your hand and keep it for later. This one can also flashback for 7. The crew elaborates that this class of spell is normally a sorcery, but they wanted the effect to work with firebending and needed to be used during combat. Cycle of Renewal is more landfall for your landfall deck. Give up 1 land to go get 2 of any basic lands. Sparring Dummy is a nice 1/3 blocker with Defender that can also tap the mill a card and return a milled land card to your hand, or gain you 2 life if you mill a lesson. It's also the appearance of Melon Lord, Guru Pathik with optional colors. When he enters, look at the top 5 of your library and reveal a lesson, saga, or shrine card from among them and put it into your hand. Whenever you cast a lesson, saga, or shrine, put a +1/+1 counter on a creature you control. The last card mentioned shrines, so let's see the Crescent Island Temple, which is a shrine and legendary enchantment. It's pretty odd to me that this is a legendary enchantment, after hearing Mark Rosewater discuss recently how he thinks the legend rule is a mistake. I'd like to hear some of those discussions at WotC over what is or isn't a legend, and who agrees on which side is true. The Crescent Island Temple has an ETB effect of for each shrine you control, create a 1/1 red monk creature token with prowess. And whenever another shrine you control enters, make another 1/1 monk with prowess. To imagine that this was intended to be standard legal with Corey Steelcutter. The panel also announces that there is a Where's Waldo type work going on with Momo, that he'll be hidden away in different artworks to represent all the times that the cast asking the show, "Where's Momo?" Boiling Rock Rioter is the kickoff of what should be many allies and cares about allies cards. A 3/3 with Firebending 1, and tap an untapped ally you control to exile a card from target graveyard. When it attacks, you can cast an ally spell from among the cards you own that are exiled with this creature. The Cave of Two Lovers makes 2 1/1 white ally creature tokens, then searches for a mountain or a cave card and puts it into your hand. On the last step, it earthbends for free. It's a pretty cool representation of how the Badger Moles taught earth building, and we also know that the Secret Tunnel card is coming and it is a cave. Water Tribe Rallier is a 2 mana 2/2 that has water bending 5. If you pay the bending cost, you can look at the top 4 of your library and reveal a creature power 3 or less and put it into your hand. Water bending itself works by tapping artifacts and creatures you control to pay for some or all of the water bending cost. White Lotus Reinforcements is a 3 mana 2/3 with Vigilance, and allies you control get +1/+1. Done with allies for now, let's see a big boy, Ozai the Phoenix King. A 6 mana 7/7 with Trample, Haste, and Firebending 4. If you lose unspent mana, it becomes red mana instead, and he is flying and indestructible if you have 6 unspent mana. Fire Nation Drill is a 4 mana 6/3 with Trample, and when it enters, you may tap it to destroy target creature with power 4 or less. It also has a 1 mana ability to remove Hexproof and Indestructible from your opponent's permanents. They really packed a lot onto this card, but I'm happy to see a vehicle that will probably be pretty relevant. Dai Li Agents is a 5 mana 3/4, and when it enters, Earthbend 1, then Earthbend 1. Whenever this creature attacks, each opponent loses X life, and you gain X life, where X is the number of creatures you control with +1/+1 counters on them. This card looks like it's going to be pretty fun in limited or early 2-headed giant parties. Hybrid animals are a theme in Avatar World, but don't ask how they knew the names for these animals individually. The Tiger Seal is a 1 mana 3/3 that taps at the start of your upkeep, and when you draw your second card each turn, untap it. Path to Redemption is an enchantment aura where enchanted creature can attack or block, and pay 5 to sack the aura and exile the enchanted creature and make a 1/1 ally token. I like these auras that have a later outlet to really remove the target to stop them from coming back online. Honest Work is another aura that taps the target and removes all counters from it. Then it loses all abilities and is a 1/1 citizen that can tap for colorless mana named Humble Merchant. Azula, Cunning Usurper, is a 5 mana 4/4 with Firebending 2. When she enters, target opponent exiles a non-token creature they control, then they exile a non-land card from their graveyard. During your turn, you may cast exiled cards with Azula and cast them as if they had flash. Mana of any type can be spent to cast those spells. Pretty nice to enter as removal, then stack up 2 more things to potentially cast with her later. Firelord Azula is a 4 mana 4/4 with Firebending 2, and whenever you cast a spell while she is attacking, copy that spell. Do I need to play a 3-color burn deck? That already exists, right? I think I have nightmares already of Jeskai Revelation, and Azula is just going to combine those. Aang at the Crossroads is a 5 mana 3/3 that flies, and when it enters, lets you check your top 5 for a creature mana value 4 or less and put it onto the battlefield. Whenever another creature you control leaves the battlefield, transform Aang at the beginning of your next upkeep. The flip side, Aang Destined Savior is a 4/4 with flying, and your land creatures have vigilance. At the beginning of combat on your turn, Earthbend 2. There are also borderless versions of this card. It might be a scene with the Azula card too from not too long ago. There are a lot of scenes in this set, and not just the one that's available in the box set. The card is intentionally colorless on the backside to represent Aang in the Avatar state as being one of all things or above nature or something else like that. On theme, pretty much, to be colorless. The Last Agni Kai is a 2 mana red fight spell that also generates red mana if excess damage is dealt to the opponent's creature. Then you don't lose unspent red mana as steps and phases end this turn. The final item shown off is this secret lair involving a man and his cabbages. There are more reveals to come before release from content creators as MTG ambassadors, but the set will pre-release on November 14th and wide release on November 21st. Let me know in the comments how hungry you are for this set and how refreshing it is after Spider-Man. But thanks for watching, take care.